Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the Women's Vancouver Sevens final between New Zealand and Australia. Now, we've covered quite a few of these women's finals in the past, and quite often we have said it's been New Zealand versus Australia. These two sides, 1 and 2 on the overall standings, and they will be playing off once again in this matchup. New Zealand's lineup will be as follows. It will be Sera Hirini, Stacey Wakaflula, Georgia Miller, Michaela Blythe, Kelly Brazier, Tyler Nathan Wong, and Sheree Kaka, the last lady in the starting lineup. Then for the Australians, Soraya Parky, Madison Levi, Tegan Levi, so both sisters in that starting side for the Aussies. Charlotte Caslick, Madison Ashby, Faith Nathan, and also Alicia Lefau Fakosilia. I always struggle to say that name because I feel like I'm saying something else. But Novmum, as said, go New Zealand. And that's the thing. The last couple times New Zealand have been able to get the better of their Aussie counterparts, which is why they are sitting first rather than the Australians sitting second. But Australia, they hit a little bit of a rough patch. They're back in form now, and they're ready to go in Vancouver up against their old Trans-Tasman rivals. Should I mention that neither the men's neither the men's Australia or New Zealand side actually going to be in the final for the men. It is going to be Argentina versus France for that side of things. But Australia, they have secured themselves the bronze medal. Both of these sides will be receiving at least a silver. One of them, though, will be walking away as the Vancouver Sevens champions. Now, Sera Hirini in charge of the Kiwis, the captain, hoping they will be able to do very well in this contest, just like they have in a few of their earlier games. Now, they were able to win comfortably up against Colombia, 60 points to nil. That was their biggest win of the competition. Whereas the Australians, they have been consistently looking like they're getting better and better as they make their way further through the competition. But it will be New Zealand kicking off from right to left for the Vancouver Sevens Women's Gold Medal Final. We're almost underway. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who you picking, man? I'm going to back the Kiwis. Not because I'm from New Zealand, but because the last couple times it seems like New Zealand have been very efficient when playing up against the Australians. That's going to be taking the player down accidentally. It's going to be a penalty and probably is it going to end up a yellow card? No, it will just be the penalty against Stacey Flula, who's actually hurt herself. She is limping at the moment. That looks a little bit concerning. She's going to be all right. Unfortunately, that's now the target in New Zealand's lineup. You go straight for Stacey Flula's wing because she looks like she can hardly run at the moment. Caslick, though, instead goes across to the left-hand side, keeps driving sideways here. Now the inside ball to Tegan Levi, drop ball from Madison Ashby, and it will be now the New Zealand scrum. They will have to decide very soon whether they want to continue playing Stacey Flula out on the wing or whether you do take her off. You don't want the Australians to bust out through that side. There's a picture of a baby on my screen. Kelly Brazier's new son, they are showing. No, never mind. I worked it out. Now, Tyler Nathan Wong. Be stepping nicely. Sheree Kaka. Now, knees both down. They do have to release her, including Charlotte Caslick, who will be a key for the Australians. Let's go, Faith Nathan. Says Nate. Now, Stacey Flula trying to skip her way through, looking for the offload. Finds Georgia Miller, one of the up-and-coming young players in this seventh circuit for the Kiwis. Wrestled down, stolen in the breakdown, that time by Tegan Levi. Picked back up by New Zealand. It's a back-and-forth encounter early on in the final. Now, Georgia Miller goes across to Tyler Nathan Wong. Numbers to her left as she decides to use them, and she does. Sera Hirini now, running sideways. Inside ball to Sheree Kaka, runs straight at Madison Levi. Now back across Hirini. Tyler Nathan Wong, Brazier. Cross to Michaela Blythe, the speedster for the Kiwis. Inside ball. Stacey Flula's put it down. She laughs about it. She knows that there was a golden opportunity to go straight through for the New Zealanders. The thing is, if she didn't See, she got it off her knee in the end, so she almost could have tried to sold it away or sell it as if she was trying to kick it, but I don't think the put in the mouth, the hand over the mouth going, uh-oh, was the best way of doing it. It's the 21st time these two sides have played each other in a World Series Cup final. And even probably over the last year, we've seen it happen at least 3 times between these two sides. Now, Faith Nathan, little bit of a juggle there. That time it's Charlotte Caslick who's put the ball down. A lot of rare errors from these two sides. Uncharacteristically dropping the ball early. New Zealand are on a 23-game winning streak. They have not lost a game since round 1 in Dubai. So 23 games ever since then. Anytime these two sides have come head-to-head in a final, New Zealand have been the side that walks away victorious. Now Tyler Nathan Wong, I should say, putting the ball in. Nicely coming out the back now to the left. Brazier thinking about taking it on herself. Offloads to Sheree Kaka. 5 meters out from the line. Caslick gets her well. Nathan Wong back across to Hirini now. Georgia Miller receives the pop pass off the bounce. Charging at the line. She almost goes through, and she does. And it's going to be the... No, she drops the ball. Brilliant work from Maddie Levi. Georgia Miller, too casual. Penalty goes the way of New Zealand, though. But Madison Levi, quick tap taken by Hirini. Oh, she gets dove on late by Madison. Going to be to try to New Zealand anyway, but that was almost a monumental mistake from Georgia Miller. She just jogged it in. She was going for a run in the park. And then Maddie Levi comes round, knocks it out of her hand like she was back playing in the WAFL. Then Hirini took the quick tap after the penalty was awarded. Gets slammed on by Madison Levi after she put the ball down, but still manages to score. And Aotearoa says T. Pick out in front. Nathan Wong gets it over, and the score now sitting 7-0 in favour of New Zealand. This certainly isn't going to be an easy game. There's going to be a lot of sore bodies tomorrow. These two women's sides playing across all 3 days so far. And of course, on AstroTurf, it just doesn't quite feel the same as grass. I know it's supposed to be designed to be great to play on. I've always wondered why they need AstroTurf in a stadium with a roof. I always thought it was AstroTurf in the outdoor ones where you can't quite get a decent strip going. But maybe it's because it's the roof for so long that they can't grow grass in there. Maybe they don't have enough sunlight. Now Tegan Levi, ball on the inside to Maddie, her sister. I almost said brother. Now again, short side. Here comes Tegan. Got Maddie on her inside, but this time goes herself. Dragged down on the 22. Now Maddie back with the ball. Gives it off to Lafau Fakosilia. Gone backwards. Another drop ball. 2 in a row. Luckily for them, though, Faith Nathan has been able to hang on to that one. In fact, it's Madison Ashby. She cuts through the New Zealand defence, and it will be the try this time to the Australians. And lots of minty moments in this game. Says Navmum. Yeah, a few early mistakes by both teams. The Levi's very prominent for the Australians. And then Hirini, she just ended up drifting a little bit too wide, although Stacey Flula was out there, so I wonder whether or not that is something to do with that slight injury to Flula, whether that did make Hirini go wider than she normally would have. Good afternoon, Hamish. Let's go. The New Zealand woman. Shame about the males. There's Shadowhunter. Although I think in the end, New Zealand will probably be like knocked out in the quarterfinals. You'll take 5th place. 5th place, not terrible. The 7th circuit, of course, if they had won that game up against Australia, they did lose 17 points to 7. Could have been a whole different story for the men's side. Tegan Levi will kick this one off. Going about 15 metres. Nicely taken by Stacey Owaka Flula. I think they're just going by Stacey Waka at the moment. Now Sheree Kaka trying to step it around. Seems like she's going to be shut down pretty quickly by Faith Nathan there. 20 metres out from their own line. Miller goes to Tyler Nathan Wong. Almost through, finds the offload to Miller again. Now Hirini receives the inside ball. Nice step. Another tackle made by Caslick. I believe has already had to make at least, I'd say, 5 to 10 tackles in this matchup, including a few just out from her own line. Now nice run from Kaka again. Finds another offload to Michaela Blyde. Just able to hang on to it. Taken down by Faith Nathan. It's always an exciting battle when those two go head to head. Pace for days between them. Nathan Wong goes to Miller after the halftime siren. So now New Zealand will just continue. Try their best to break through. Beautiful offload, and it's going to be Stacey Waka, Stacey Waka, Flula, whatever you want to call her. She's going to score the try for the Kiwis. And she's jogging it in. Watch out for Madison Levi. Georgia Miller learnt that. Ball put down, and New Zealand will score the try right at the end of the first half. There was an ad which said, it's moments like these you need minties. Your parents should know those ones. There's Novmum. And no, not bad at all. Good on them, says Shadow Hunter. And late lunch break here, Sevens time, says DK. You've picked it well because there is still a men's final just around the corner. Argentina versus France. Hello? No, they're still going half time. Now 14 points to 7. New Zealand. You mentioned the parents and they all show up. I love to stroll to the try, says Nov Mum, and sometimes you remind me of a commentator that does horse racing. That's probably fair enough. Yeah, I talk very quick. And sometimes, like when sentences aren't working for me, like talking quick also doesn't help because then I just end up stumbling every single word. Halftime in this matchup, 14 points to New Zealand, 7 for the Australians. And 30 passes completed by the Kiwis compared to the Aussies, who have only had the 11, but more errors coming the way of the Australians. New Zealand being willing to make more offloads, though. Who you got in the men's final says, my name is Jeff. To be honest, I think Argentina will be able to go all the way. And it will certainly make it interesting in the scheme of the whole competition because that will boost them up a little bit closer to New Zealand by a few points. Everyone's on lunch break. Back to work after this match, says Blues Nate. Oh, depending on whether it's a 30-minute or an hour break, might be able to get themselves enough time to watch the men's final as well. I don't say that offensive. They talk with a certain tone, says Shadow Hunter. Yeah, I don't take it offensively. Like some people, I guess it's actually the first time someone's mentioned how fast we talk in a while. It's actually weird because right back when we started, everyone was like, oi, you talk too fast, slow down. And then I think maybe when we got to 1,000 subscribers, everyone's like, okay, this guy just talks fast. So I don't think he's going to stop talking fast. That man's dressed as Winnie the Pooh. He had Eeyore and Piglet next to him. Of course, I'm guessing those are the names of the Winnie the Pooh characters. Shame about the Blues. Brumbies just did enough. Super Rugby Pacific just got interesting, says DK. Yeah, I saw about 91% of people felt the Blues were going to win that game. And a lot of people thought it was going to be a runaway. I was the complete opposite. I was probably part of that 9% who thought the Brumbies had a decent crack because normally the Blues do struggle a little bit with the Brumbies. And I think last time those two sides played, that was a massive shot. It was just about a second too late from the Aussies. We'll get back to the Blues Brumbies, I'm sure, some stage throughout Super Rugby Pacific's future games. But now it's going to be a nice pass out wide. It wasn't forward. No, they say it went backwards. Stacey Waka getting shut down. Georgia Miller now with the step. Kaslik gets in there. Considered committing to the breakdown. New Zealand doing well, or are they? It's a penalty to New Zealand for Australia leaving their feet. What's your view on Artie's mishap, says Shadow Hunter? It's an interesting scenario. Should he have done it? No. I still want to know what the other guy said, though, to make him do that. Now, nice run from New Zealand. Sitting 25 metres out from the line. Nathan Wong going to the left. Michaela Blythe. Now with the step. He's got Brazier with her. Inside ball to Nathan Wong, who was going to go for the offload. In fact, Brazier's done extremely well to break out of that tackle attempt. Now Shireen Kaka, big shot from Madison Levi. Came steamrolling in, but that leaves the gap on Levi's wing. All they have to do is go out wide, and New Zealand will strike with Georgia Miller. It was all well and good putting in the big shot in the midfield, but that left it wide open for Maddie Levi's wing for the New Zealanders to run it in. Brumbies have the wood on the Blues, says Blues Nate. And please like and subscribe, says MH Joy. I'll be back in for the finals. How about that Argentina versus France finals? Yeah, it's a surprise for a lot of people. The top 5 are all almost out other than Argentina for this one. No Samoa, no Fiji, no South Africa, no New Zealand. Instead, wow, that's a big shot. I mean, yes, they conceded a try, but it was a good hit. You got to give her credit for that one. But now Nathan Wong misses. And that is a big miss to have because that is going to be 19 points to 7 now in this matchup. 5 minutes remaining. New Zealand with the 12-point lead. 2 converted tries from the Australians would be enough to get them in the lead here. And there's certainly time to do it. So New Zealand cannot take their foot off the gas. Can't get complacent. Tyler Nathan Wong puts the ball high, just travels the 10 meters, slap back, sits up for Brazier. It was actually Australia who were able to win that head-to-head in the air. Lily Dick gets over the ball, wins the penalty for her side. She's only been out on the field for a very short amount of time, already getting involved and having an impact. Ashby goes off to Charlotte Caslick across now to, I believe it is going to be Lafau Whakasalia, I should say. Another nice step, offload to Madison Ashby, inside ball to Rita, coming off the bench as well. Australia still 4 minutes remain. I hope the draw beat the Satyrs, says a Novmum. I've actually learned that we've got our cricket final as a home game, but it does overlap with Crusaders Fiji. So I'm not too sure what to do there, whether or not we get a guest on for that Crusaders Fiji game, as I probably should play in my team's cricket final. I feel like leaving them for that game would be a bit rough. Inside ball, now going to Soraya Paki. Rita plays half. Dick goes across. That wasn't me calling her that as well, by the way. Lily Dick. I'll say her full name. It's easier than me getting accused of insulting some of these ladies. Lily Dick carries it forward. Now another pass. Caslick. This is open for the Aussie. She goes on the inside instead to Charlotte Caslick, and she's tackled short of the line. It would have hurt, but she managed to get over the line. And good on New Zealand. Let's go. Here's Shadow Hunter. Charlotte Caslick scores her 3rd try of the Vancouver Sevens. That's actually a pretty low number for Caslick. She's normally absolutely always over the line. This will be her 3rd, though. Lily Dick, brilliant work from her since coming off the bench, winning her team a penalty, and then alongside that, helping set up that try. And they had the woman on the outside that Michaela Blyde had covered, but they went back on the inside. And I was like, glad you cleared that up with her full name, says Shadow Hunter NZ. Oh, that kick's missed for the Australians. She's missed that one from about 15 meters out in front. And Crusaders versus the Drua in Fiji, if I'm not mistaken, should be a great atmosphere. Fiji crowd, a loud and entertaining, special fan base. They are. And that is where I feel should have had the Super Round for Super Rugby. They would have had sold out crowds, absolutely loving every game of the action. Now, Jasmine Felix Hotham gives it off to Michaela Blyde. Still got plenty of pace left in the tank. I see that. I believe Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe wouldn't be too far away from making her way onto the field soon. It's going to be the inside ball again. That time it was Pori Lane. And the penalty goes the way of the Aussies. Lily Dick wins it for her side again. Now back across. This one has the potential of golden point time. New Zealand, though, straight on the ball. Great clean out. I think that was Lefau Whakasilia. Ashby, inside ball. Now it is going to be Paki driven backwards. Actually, first time I've seen Soraya Paki throughout this match, I almost believe, or maybe second. Did see her just before. Kicked him behind by Madison Ashby. It's going to be a foot race. Looks like Michaela Blyde should be able to win it. It's going to be in the in-goal area. So Blyde can just force that one down, and it will now be a 22 dropout for New Zealand. Does give the possession back to the Australians. Looks like they are going to have time off for some subs. I think maybe Brazier was about to go for that kick in behind and try and chase that one down herself. But currently 12 points split these two sides. New Zealand sitting on 78 at the top of the women's standings. Australia sitting on 66 alongside USA, who have made their way up to the 66. Although maybe for the USA, that might be including their bronze medal points that they just received. Not too sure. But they have been pretty strong, so maybe that is without the bronze they've recently got coming into consideration. And come on, New Zealand, get the gold, says November Mums. They've only got 67 seconds. If they can stop the Australians from scoring, they will take out the gold medal. If they concede, though, and it's converted, we're getting another 5 minutes of action, perhaps. Now it's gone straight into the hands of Madison Levi. This will be the first time that she's got the ball in hand. Tackled hard by Portia Whitman-Wycliffe. And penalty to New Zealand. Okay, the referee says that he felt that Nassau was off her feet. One of the newer players in this Australian Sevens side. I'm sure we cover the Rugby World Cup, do a special coverage, maybe a joint live stream with the other rugby YouTube channels, says DK. So we are going to be covering the Rugby World Cup. I haven't organised anything in terms of collaborations or anything as of yet, but I'm sure at some stage throughout the World Cup we will have some guests thrown in there. Hello, guys and gals. Let's go. The Kiwis, says Marco Vanapola. 20 seconds left for the Kiwis, just trying to hang on to this ball. Madison Levi, counter ruck, little bit risky for New Zealand. They've won the penalty though. Not very lucky. Madison Levi got a bit too overzealous in the breakdown. Now New Zealand, they do have to take this quick tap. She'll run away a little bit, Brazier, kick it into touch, and New Zealand take out the Vancouver Sevens gold. Australia, they will get themselves second, but sure, they would have loved to be able to take out this contest. Just needed one more try, and we would have been going to golden point. Run down the clock. Black Ferns win gold. Keep it going, ladies. Says Wes, and yes, says November 1. So it is going to be, November mum. New Zealand take out first. Australia second, just like they are sitting in the world rugby rankings at the moment for their sevens this year. I have to say, though, woman of the match would have probably been Lily Dick had her side got the victory. There were a few good players for New Zealand, though. I'd say that Stacey Waka, she did pretty well for herself. Brazier actually had a very good performance as well, so she will probably end up with woman of the match. And what's your best three players of the weekend? Are we going women's rugby R45 or men's rugby? Thrown in there as well. Cheers, Hamish. Enjoy the commentary as always. Says DK. Do appreciate that, mate. Congrats, the Silver Ferns. Says Jaden. In there as well. But if I went top three overall, in fact, top three women's players of the weekend. Do we do a combined? Well, I might do a combined. And congrats, New Zealand ladies. Yo, thanks, Hamish. Till next time, says Shadow Hunter. So for the men's side of things, I'd probably easily go Paul Scanlon, the top try scorer at the moment, sitting on 10 in the comp. 9. Doing extremely well. And also, what is New Zealand's badminton team called? The Blackhawks. They are. I learned that. I used to play a bit of badminton, believe it or not. I was actually not bad at it either, surprisingly. But yeah, you don't think I would have wanted to go pro with it. And cheers, Hamish, well done, says Wes, and solid work, girls. 24 games unbeaten. That takes some doing, says Stephen Pope. Exactly right. It's like the teams that they played as well. The fact that they played Australia maybe like 4 or 5 times in that time of being on that win streak, very impressive indeed. And lunch break over, back to work, no, unfortunately, says DK. There as well. But nonetheless, we have got the men's final coming up just around the corner. It will be Argentina taking on France in what will be a very exciting matchup. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you all for the next one.